president of the local Ranch Owners Association. February 23rd, 7:01. I'd like to go ahead and call roll. Albert Muller, present. Derek Spudish.
Here.
Jose Solars.
Here.
And Virginia Muller.
Here.
Okay, looks like we got a quorum. I'd like to go ahead and open up the meeting and hand it over to Ms. Virginia Muller.
Okay. Our meeting today has to do with we had to make some changes because in order to be able to do what we need to do with the budget, we have an approved budget of $550,745, and here at LaBota, in both associations which operate together, there's a total of 444 billable units. However, at the present time, only 331 in the ranch owners and 53 are actual, and 53 in the property owners, which totals to 384, are actually current. If we do not pass this particular proposal for increase in dues, we will be probably in the hole something over $48,000 to $50,000.
Let's cut the lease.
At this time, we know that there are 60 delinquent homeowners. And another thing that we assessed is that there are 40 homes that are in rental status here in LaBota. So, puts a big burden on those who are current and who are paying, and we understand that. But if we're going to keep the status quo and be able to maintain the things that we have maintained, we do propose to increase the dues or the assessments. Our proposal is approximately to increase approximately $5.27 per month, and $15.82 per quarter.
That's 5%.
That is for the ranch owners. On the property owner side, there will be an increase of $6.55 a month, or $19.66 per quarter. So, Mr. President, I am moving that, putting this motion forward, that we propose a dues increase. Even with the dues increase, we will not be able to make our we will not be able to meet the proposed budget. However, we do have some ideas and some plans for being able to produce the deficit or what is needed in order to be able to meet the budget. So at this time, I propose that we increase the dues, the amounts that I have stated.
What percentage is that going to be exactly?
It's approximately 5.
Okay. And for purposes of the motion, I'll second the motion, but I think there should be some discussion. Agreed.
Okay, one of the things that we spoke with the new board members about is that they have every right and they will be getting a lot of information about not only where all the monies are going, what they're being spent for, and things like that, but some of the plans that perhaps we can look forward to doing. Do you all, Mr. Soladas, do you have something that you want to say? If one of the things we did talk about, all of us, all that are now on the board, if you're not addressed, you will not be allowed to speak. Okay? And the gentleman that's standing at the door, if you do speak out of turn, will escort you from the room. We must have some decorum as far as what goes on here so that everybody can understand what is happening. Mr. Solares?
Yes, in reference to this, it's like I told you guys before, I worked for a long time in budgets, and believe me, I know that to make up whatever we have to make up, we need to raise at least 45% if we want to make some money or see some money. Because this is a little touch in the bucket and it will not make any difference, believe me. I believe that we should actually rethink all this and see it again in June, at the middle of the year. And now look at the budget very, very closely and try to iron it out in the things that we got extras that we don't need, or things that can be cut down a little bit instead of just coming once a week, coming one every 8 days, you know, and give us a little discount more, or, you know, things like that. So if nothing happened by June, we still got 6 months to make up some money.
Yeah, but we're already in the hole. We're already in
Well,
the
we've been in the
deficit.
hole for years
I know.
now,
Well,
that what you guys told me before.
But it's, by looking at the budget that we've worked the numbers and we've, you know, explained to y'all at you know, in the meeting when we talked and gave you the budget, and asked you to come up with some suggestions and things like that. I mean, what we're proposing and looking at the figures that we are trying to cut here and cut there. I mean, if we cut $10 here and $10 there, it's not gonna make, you know, if we, like somebody proposed the other day, okay, let's just not mow that front yard. Really? That's not going to help. We've got to think about the big picture, and if we keep waiting, which we have waited way too long already,
Right.
this is one quarter that we can't
No, but for
get some
example,
money coming in.
I know what you're saying, but for example, haggling every time works. And like we did with the border pools, he was charging us $11,110 for his bid for the pool, and he dropped it after I talked to him and says, hey, and treat him like a brother, like somebody that I care for, and he dropped it $1,000, the bid. You know, and I didn't say how much were the other biddings. He still dropped it.
And that's good, because you
So,
know what, we have
I believe we can do-
$23,000 that I want you to haggle
But I
with for the
believe-
next year.
But I believe that we can do that with a lot of the leases that we have, and at least come up with at least half of the money. You know what I mean? That half of the 26,000, 12,000 is an advance. You know what I mean? So that's my concern, that we can actually look a little closer before we hit everybody, because not everybody got jobs and not everybody got money, and not, you know. I don't know. I have to look for the people that are in a rough situation. You know, I mean, yes, the HOA is in a rough situation, but I believe we actually can work with that list and actually make it happen. Even advance it to credit reporting, something that will hurt them, they will know they have to pay. You know,
I mean, that's
because,
why
they're
you've seen
doing
the
that.
list
Yeah,
now.
they're
You know
doing-
who's, you know,
they're
some of
doing that
these
because they're
dollar
getting away
amounts
with
are.
it. They're doing that because they're getting away with it. They know you're not going to take their houses, because what are you going to do with the house? You know, so they are abusing the system in a bad way, and they're hurting everybody else.
Derek, do you have some?
Yes,
comments?
first, I would like to say thank you for appointing me in for the board,
Same here.
okay? these last 2 weeks have been very eye-opening for me and Jose, I'm sure. We've learned so much about what's going on here, and we appreciate you sharing with us. That being said, there's a lot more stuff we feel we need to go over before we're comfortable raising any amount, okay? I was going over the budgets from several years ago. We've gone from a budget of $272,000 in 2007. From that year to 2008, went to 439. Now, I haven't reviewed the particulars on it. It was almost $200,000 upgrade in that 1 year. Okay, and I have not had time to go over these numbers and see why. And that could be legit. That's fine. I'm not saying any of it's not legit. Okay, from 2008, 2014. 2014 is 493,000 just last year. Now this year you're proposing 550,000, over a $60,000 increase from last year. Okay, I know costs go up. I mean, everything goes up. I'm paying more for my expenses last year than this year. There are so many questions we have regarding the landscaping, the security, like what he said, as far as bidding, the leases, the irrigation,
Yes.
everything on this list. We have not. I mean, in 2 weeks you can't expect us to have time to look at all that. We want to. We want to help out. We honestly want to help out. Okay. But I cannot vote affirmative on a 5% increase without looking at more of the numbers.
Yes.
Okay? If we would have been put on October, November, possibly. Okay? I said there's just so much here. I called Albert for over an hour on Saturday. Okay? I spoke to him. He opened my eyes to some other things. I spoke to you guys 2 hours on last Thursday. We had another 2-hour meeting before that. But I think on Monday.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of stuff and so many things we got planned here. We had so many ideas, okay? And I like them all, but we have got to get this in line. And not only, not only are we have the numbers worked out. We have to have a buffer. We had a buffer in 08. Somewhere along the line, that buffer is gone. So every year now we're looking at, well, what are we going to do? Well, we just got to raise the rates. No, we can't keep on raising the rates. We have to look at a way to cut things too, and I don't think we're doing a good job on that. And that's why we're here to help. But at this point, that's where I'm at. It's not really we can ask you or discuss because all my questions. So to the point we've talked about. I asked to see the lease and stuff like that. That I've been assured I'm going to be able to see those numbers, see that stuff. I haven't seen it yet. Security stuff the same way. I have several people, very hardworking, dedicated individuals that are willing to work on looking for numbers for security options. Just break down these numbers, and they're willing to look into them. But we got to have more time. And at this point, before I raise 5%, I'm willing to, not have security the last 2 months of the year. Before we raise another 5%, before we know where the money's going exactly, because at $191,500 for security next year, that's $21.86 for every hour of every day, all year long for security out front. I don't know what the ladies get paid, and I know we have a part-time security patrol as well. It just seems a little high for what we pay for, and
What we see.
and it's gone up over almost $20,000 from last year. And you said last year that the police were too expensive, so we went to this company. Now it's $20,000 more. I don't know what needs to be done, but I know all the things need to be looked into,
Yes.
and I want to address them. But I'm not going to vote for an increase this year. And that's all I have to say.
Mr. President, we've had a motion and a second.
So we have a motion to increase the assessment for 2015 by 5%. All those in favor?
Nope.
Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we got Virginia Muller, Albert Muller. Aye. And I will be voting for it also.
Oh.
And nays?
Nay.
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 Okay, we got 2 nays.
Nay.
Motion does carry.
I'm surprised.
Second.
So confused. Wow. I'm shocked.
Are we,
Wow.
I I move that the meeting be
Yes, 3
adjourned.
against 2. Wow.
I second it. Okay.
Okay, so what next, guys?
And I'd like for Mr. Saladas and Derek to stay. We have some things that
Absolutely.
Okay.
we definitely want to.
So,
Y'all, the rest of y'all are excused.
Next time, don't use me as an example, okay? You, don't use me as an example next time. Letting you know that. Go on.
Yeah, what did he do?
What?
Why were you
What I
pointing
recommend is
him
that
out?
we all seek legal action and disassociate
I second
ourselves.
Third.
We need to put all our money into an account.
It's already been discussed at
And
$100
we need to
per
do that,
homeowner.
and we need to do that, because this is not right. This is not a this is like a dictatorship, man. And this is what I'm not gonna
Just saw it
stand.
right there.
Right there, we saw something that is not right, and we need to get the press involved in this, and we need to let
The
it
press has
know.
been contacted, and we will pursue
I'll
on that
move that we
matter.
put our money into an account. That way they don't say that we're not paying our dues until we have full disclosure. Full disclosure, then we can talk. As of now, it's a rebellion.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Press,
That's all we move.
Corrupt family.
Facebook,
and the other
Corrupt
thing,
family.
Get
Go
ready
ahead
to
and,
get your names
you guys-
put out there too then.
Okay, please.
Sure.
I'm paid.
Oh,
I'm
we're,
paid.
we're paying. So I guess if y'all want to, Cookie, and let me just say this really quickly, Roger, please.
Well, she's
Would
asking
you
for
please
you guys to step up,
please?
please.
We're asking for the common area lease
We're,
contract to be rescinded. We don't want to be paying you all $80,000 a year. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because you know that's how much you all are receiving
Thank you.
from us, $80,000 a year.
Crooks.